to old storylines that reemerge. So it's really fascinating. The people who have been watching all along, it's going to blow your mind. So it's just a really rich narrative environment, unlike others that I've been in. Hello, Lucia. How are you?
Hi, great. How are you?
Wonderful. Thank you.
Good to talk to you. Good to talk
My
to you.
pleasure.
I want to start with, there's a new sheriff in town. We have this new
Yeah.
chief now, and he has a different way of doing things, and he kind of changes everything around. So what can you tell me about those changes in the station?
Yeah. Well, joining up Chicago Fire season 13 means there were 12 years of prep for this character to emerge. And I wasn't familiar that much with Chicago Fire, but once I got here, I really saw how beloved Chief Boden was and what a central part, integral to the whole storyline. So they really felt the loss of that character. Quite frankly, the production and the actors missed Eamonn Walker because he's such a nice guy, from what everybody says. So they've worked with him for a dozen years, right? So that's me entering first day. I don't know really the story. I don't know anybody there. I just know what the little bit they told me, that he's, like you said, new sheriff in town, new rules, and comes off pretty strict, like a tough boss, on purpose. He wants to be nobody's friend. But then you stay tuned a little bit and you see how ingenious the writers are, because you begin to peel him back a little bit and realize he does have a lot of compassion, especially for his firefighters and EMTs. And he continues to quietly intervene on their behalf. So he's got their back in a way that it doesn't seem like at first. So it's a great little twist where they don't try and bring in another nice guy. But it's hard for Pascal to not do the right thing. So he does the wrong thing from time to time too, maybe. A very complex character. I'm so challenged and so pleased to be on board such a great show. Incredible people.
I was going to ask you about that, because we don't see him behind the desk, which is something that got my attention. Like first episode, he's right there in the action. I was kind of expecting, well, maybe he just gives orders to people and he orders around, but there's so much more of him. So I kind of really wanted to ask you about that. I mean, did you expect that he was going to be like right on the action in the first moment?
They had said that, but I didn't know what that really meant until I was in full gear in the middle of July, 100 degrees in Chicago, rushing by fire pots and exploding fireworks. So if you're referencing that first episode, that was literally Chief Pascal's trial by fire. And they have not let up. Almost every episode, they put my character right in the middle of the danger. He walks toward it. And it's really impressive. So I'm not that familiar with how Boden operated, but I don't think he was in climbing up the side of the building and pulling people himself out of the flames. So they have Pascal doing that. So it sets him apart. But then some of the other characters kind of question, his control, because he ends up rushing in and stuff like that. That storyline's just sort of cooking now, as we're shooting episodes 16, 17, 18. So it's just as fascinating for me, the actor, to learn about this character as the viewer, because I don't know what's coming next either.
Right. And you have had such a long career, and I was wondering, because in this scenario, as you said earlier, you kind of enter into a place where, we have 12 seasons prior.
Yeah.
And it's a set where everything already, I think, works perfectly great, and
Yes.
stepping in. So I kind of wonder, how is that experience to stepping in a place where okay, everything was already working?
Yeah. Well, I was totally unprepared for it, to be honest with you. And I saw things. I'm taking on a job that I've never had. I've never done a full season of a series. So that means I haven't portrayed a character for this long. Ever. Mainly movies, and it would be short, or television guest starring. It's also short. So this is really the deepest I'll go with a character. But I didn't know what to expect. I wasn't overthinking it, but what I noticed right away was how deep in their characters these actors are. It's something you can really detect as a working actor, that I go from different types of sets. I get to this one, 12 years in, they're all still friends. They've watched their families expand. They've helped each other buy cars, houses. They golf together. They vacation together on their hiatus. It's crazy. Nobody's jaded. Nobody's calling it in. Every week there's something dangerous that they have to do that really takes a lot of athleticism. And there's not a complaint on that set. Everybody loves their job. The actors spring out of bed in the morning and run to work. It's incredible. It's incredible. I'm so inspired by them, and so pleased to be in a place that operates the way I do. And, really good to go, come in swinging. The way Pascal did. He held nothing back at first, and then the writers kind of turn you a little bit, and you begin to see he's a little softer on the inside than you might think at first.
Right. Oh, well, that's lovely to work in such a nice,
incredible environment. Yeah, I can report because I've been in so many. This one really has a special quality of people that they've collected on this show. It's amazing.
Oh, that's beautiful. And well, I was going to ask you as well, because 13 seasons in, such a successful show, people really love it. I mean, people here also really watch the show and really, really finds it so popular. So why do you think this show actually works so well and people like it so much?
Gosh, that's a tough question. You mean why worldwide? Why it's popular outside of North America?
Yeah.
Gosh, that's a tough question. I mean, I have to admit, some of these things I don't know yet. I'm only discovering this. I'm only realizing now how many people know this show. It started happening. It doesn't happen very often in my career. Maybe with Gavin from Friends, I do 3 little episodes and everybody remembers his name for some reason. And we'll say,
I remember his name.
Right? Because the name stuck. I think I introduced myself to the baby, right? So that was very funny. And people remember Gavin. But now people will see me in the market or at the airport and they say, "Hey, Chief."
Right. No, that's love.
They call me Chief. So that there alone tells you how many people are watching it and how many average Joes are watching it, because it's not on premiere streaming service or, it's so accessible, the show. I mean, obviously you can get it on Peacock and watch it when you want, but it also has a regularity that people really rely on, routine. You really know these characters. They don't get rid of characters on that show. They keep them forever. So you've grown up with them and their storylines. That must be why, but I can't exactly say.
No, I agree with you. And also,
of course, fire and dangerous crises are universal, of course. And maybe in ways that being a United States police officer doesn't translate as well, or a United States medical doctor may not be quite as universal. Fire, I think everybody knows it, fears it, and is let's be honest, kind of fascinated by it.
Yeah, I completely agree. And to wrap up, we were saying, a real long career. You have done romantic comedies, you have done TV shows. We see you as Gavin and so many other things. So after all this time, what do you think is the most comfortable you actually find yourself in a when you're going in a movie, when you're stepping into a set, you think, okay, this is where I feel the most comfortable in.
Yeah.
What do you think that is?
Gosh, we're always looking for the perfect casting. Where I'm perfect for the part, because that's what everybody wants. Then the thing can really hum, and the writer's work can come through without it being squeezed through some actor's personality. And the whole storyline for 12 years is being delivered in little pieces way out here in the 13th season. In this season, they even go back. They go back a little bit with Joe Minoso's character to old storylines that reemerge. So it's really fascinating. The people who've been watching all along, it's going to blow your mind. So it's just a really rich narrative environment, unlike others that I've been in. So there are other parts that I've been perfectly cast for, or just been just the right guy. So that's when it feels the best. So I'm striving for that with this, but I'm just learning the character and learning the ropes. So we'll see.
That's lovely. Well, thank you so much for your time, Dermot, and really looking forward to seeing so much more. So great.
Thank you so much. Thank you.